How's it going, everyone? Daniel Rodriguez here, aka Big D. It's time to review Fear the Walking Dead, Season 1, Episode 5, titled Cobalt. This is a spoiler review. If you have not seen the episode, go to amc.com/The Walking Dead. Watch the full episode there. Thanks so much for joining me. And my Sunday nights are packed, baby, with reviews. Before I get to this again, spoiler review. But real quick, shows I'll review on Sunday. Some are going to bleed into Monday when I review them. But we're talking about shows like Quantico, Blood and Oil, The Last Man on Earth, and The Strain is finishing up next week, as well as Fear the Walking Dead, so make sure to stay tuned on them. Anyway, let's get right to this. Should take me less than 2 minutes to recap the episode, give you my pros and cons and final score. Thanks again for joining. Next week's the finale. I mean, come on. We all know it's going to be 6 weeks, but it's finally picking up to that right spot where it's just juicy and it's that juice in the mouth, and then it's about to finish, and then it's kind of like, well, where was that 5 weeks ago, you know, that sort of thing. Either way, let's get right to it. This guy drives Douglas mad. I don't think we have a name for him yet, but this guy he's talking about things, and oh, well, you know this, and oh, that, and yes, you know, oh, she's still skinny, she still looks the way she looks in the picture, you know. Well, cuz, I mean, literally everything's going down like that, and basically Douglas goes a little mad, man. We all go a little mad sometimes. And he literally is just yelling, and they end up taking him away. We don't know where they take him, the army and the military base. So Ophelia is having a breakdown, and, you know, she gets that guy, the military boyfriend, to come over and everything. Griselda lost her foot. That sucks, man. She ended up getting amputated. Daniel's beating up Ophelia's boyfriend for information. He's going to, he didn't beat him up that bad, but he's going to get him to talk. But he promises not to hurt him. He tells Ophelia, I'm not going to hurt him. He tells Maddie, I'm not going to hurt him. I just must do what is necessary. And right then, man, Daniel, he goes full on Michael Madsen, freaking Reservoir Dogs, baby, you know, stuck in the middle with you. He just goes full on. He doesn't dance, man, but he gets the barbershop equipment out, and he's like, almost like, you see, I don't care what you tell me. I'm just torturing you just for the hell of it. You know, I thought it was basically like that in a way. I was like, oh god. I was like, Reservoir Dogs, dude, they're copying that. It's amazing. Like, it has that feeling. And anyway, Travis is on the outside with the Marines, and they offer him a sniper to shoot this zombie, which is then Kimberly, and this waitress zombie. And I was like, Travis, finally, we're in the outside. We're going to see him actually kill a zombie. This is the start of him being a badass, man. Because I do honestly see Travis Cliff Curtis, if he survives season 1, I could see him becoming a badass like Rick. I never said he's gonna be like Rick, but a badass like Rick one day. He has the skill. If he has a beard and he has a machete, he could totally be a freaking zombie killing machine. Yes, he can. But so far, he hasn't made any progress. He gotta make progress. He hasn't killed one single damn zombie. One damn Z, man, all you gotta do. So he doesn't end up doing the sniper, he refuses. They go to this building, and it's a damn war zone, man. A war, they're like, stay in the car, all like freaking Iron Man. Like, yeah, Tony Stark, stay in the car. And they all get, you know, some of them get attacked. So he stays in the vehicle. Chris and Alicia have this moment, man. And, of course, he's not related by blood or anything, just by, like, the name of, like, oh, my dad's dating your mom type of thing. So they could go, it's not really incest or anything. They could actually go at it and, you know, oh, it's not incest, so who cares? You know, honestly, it's just a TV show. It's not real, so why should we care? But still, they're just going down. They didn't have a thing, but like, he like, you know, that's a sexy moment, and it was a little awkward, but you could tell that maybe there's going to be a thing going on in season 2 if both of them survive. So this guy helps Nick stay, and he does jewelry, and he bribes this Marine. Daniel he does a speech for Maddie talking about when he was in the war and what is necessary. And he basically cut the skin off the guy, or else he was burning the guy's skin, but I think he he shedded part of his skin on his, like lacing it off, or what is it called? Like cutting a layer out of it with a barbershop knife. So Alicia and Chris break a bunch of stuff. They're kind of just being rebellious, you know, being them teenagers, and they're going crazy. See, apocalypse, might as well break it, and family's not coming back type of thing. Travis returns, and the guy talks about Cobalt. He talks about how There's going to be an evac for the Marines, and they're going to kill all the remaining humans, like terminating the humans. And Griselda's brain starts to swell, and she's saying a bunch of words and everything. I've seen your face and everything. Your face is the same as the devil and all that. And she ends up dying. Lisa has to put her down, basically. Now, she doesn't turn into a zombie yet, but she turns, like, shoots her in the head with this thing that stabilizes cattle and all that. So Daniel finds a door to the arena outside, and there are dead inside, and they're like, sort of like The Walking Dead Season 1 Episode 1 when it said don't open dead inside. Basically, it's the same thing, but a bunch of doors in the arenas, man. Not even Jim Morrison inside, just a bunch of the doors. What did I think about this episode overall, guys? This episode finally had me getting into the show. It finally had me having the feeling, having the thoughts, having the love. And I'm going to say why, man. First off, Travis finally being on the outside. I was like, this is it. No more being out in the damn perimeter. I'm tired of them being in a fence. Move your ass. Go around places. I love that. Travis was in a war zone. That whole part there. Him with the sniper, you know, it's like, and the mouth and everything. I just love those scenes. I particularly love those scenes the most. Emotional, man. I cried 2 times in here with Griselda. Just those scenes made me cry, and I was like, finally, I'm crying for her. I barely know her still, but man, she got to me, man. That was a very, very sad scene. I love the ending where Daniel's right in front of all the doors and everything. I love it. I think that was a perfect way to end the episode to get ready for the season finale next week. What's he gonna do? I would personally let all the zombies out so they could attack the Marines and everything. And you know, if I was Daniel, I wouldn't care about the other families. Who gives a crap? I only care for getting my people out. I don't care for you others. I'll let you die. I'm going myself, but you better not let me die. You better help me out. But for me, I'm not helping you out. You better help me out, though. Still, the whole Daniel thing of doing that, I love that, man. I really do. The whole ending and don't open dead inside. I wish that would have that. Of course, that would be really cool. The whole homage. The whole Cobalt storyline, I do enjoy that. And of course, yes, we know the tagline for The Walking Dead when it was in the spinoff. People thought, you know, it's Cobalt. That was the thing that was going on. And I like, we know what it is. We know the side name and everything. So that was really fun. I really do. It's very scary how they're just going to evac and they don't even care for us humans. So we got to get back at them. You know, the military was never good for the first place. Daniel and his dialogue, man. Ruben Glaives, the actor, fantastic. He stole the show, man, with his dialogue and the acting. He was perfect in here. The directing in here, awesome as well. I had no problem with the directing. I love the way it's done. I love the camera angles and again, like the sniper scope and everything. The way that they direct that's really cool. The hospital, the way it looks, the way where Nick was, and also just the torture scene again. We don't get to see the torture per se, but you can kind of tell what happens more or less and how intense Daniel is. Alicia and Chris, I don't mind if they get together. I could ship that, I guess, you know. Not saying they're gonna get together, but there's a feeling in there where there's kind of just 2 young souls. And well, she lost her boyfriend, and I think she already knows that she lost her boyfriend. She's trying to hold on to something. She's gonna need to find something new, you know. So that's going on. And Lisa, again, Lisa, we don't get to see much of Lisa. She's not really a fan favorite. But for what we see in this episode, we see that she's trying. She's trying to help these people, and she cares. She really does. So she's okay in my book. The only cons, really, the opening of this episode, the guy drives Douglas mad and everything. I thought that was boring. I didn't care. I don't care for that guy. Honestly, that's why I didn't mention him again in here. Him and Nick are going to do something. I don't care, honestly, for that. But that, going said, the opening, I don't care. And when it was like, Fear of the Walking Dead, they suck really at having those intense moments. Like, last week was like, hello there, Fear of the Walking Dead. Like, no, you should have waited until Daniel was like, this is how we get them back. Fear of the Walking. That would have been a better opening than what you had before. Yeah, I'm just saying, honestly. the camera smudge, sometimes the directing, not the directing, but the camera itself, I feel like there's a smudge sometimes. Like, everything's blurry on the side, not out of context. I mean, it seems blurry, a part of the lens at times. Literally, sometimes it just feels blurry. It's on TV. It was downstairs and upstairs, and it was blurry, very blurry at times. And sometimes it looked fake, and I was kind of like, it's bringing me out of the show. Now you're making me think it's just set pieces, because it is. Madison, she is the least favorite character out of this episode, man. She's just sitting there. She doesn't know what to do. Her storyline's very slow. I'm not saying that she's a bad character, but she's just very slow this episode, man. I need her to get a little bit more up. But even Travis did a lot more than her. And they didn't show much of Nick. I was kind of actually mad that I don't want to see the guy. I want to see Nick. Just him dealing with stuff. But now they're going to make him do something with this guy, and we'll see where that goes. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give Fear the Walking Dead Season 1, Episode 5 a B+. It's a very good episode, man. I enjoyed myself. Last week was a C+. This time is a B+. It definitely picked itself up. I enjoyed most of this episode. From directing to the pros and cons. Nothing wrong. I mean, there are a few things wrong, but other than that, that's it, man. Thanks so much for watching. Hope all of you enjoyed. Again, comment down below. Tell me what you thought about it. Next week, what's going to go down, man? I think it's going to be an all-out war zone. Are a few people going to die? Well, now that Griselda's dead, Daniel doesn't know that once he finds out. Maybe he wants to live, maybe he wants to die. He tells Ophelia to go with them, and he ends up staying behind, killing some of the Marines, killing people. I don't know what goes down, man. So it's definitely not going to end with a happy ending, because it gets crappier from there on out because of the apocalypse. We know how it turns out many years later. So thanks again. May the Spock be with you always.